again for another video. I'm in the dirty kitchen again, and I'm gonna clean as we talk. So this week's episode of Ready to Love, season 4, episode 4. I feel like this one was the calm before the storm. Everybody keeps saying how this is like the most dramatic season yet, and we're all wondering what could have happened this season that we haven't seen before. And so I just feel like this episode was interesting. Aisha and Frank went on a date. I like their chemistry, but I will say that for some reason Frank gives me Carrington vibes in the way that Carrington thought he was the shit, and Frank just seems like he's the shit. Like, who else does this? Like, I understand you're a bartender or whatever, but look at the look on his face. That's why he gives me Carrington vibes. But I like his chemistry with Aisha. I think they had good chemistry, good natural chemistry. So then, Kheri and Tyrone. I understand why, they had to have another conversation. I just don't think that it should have been on a date. I think it should have been no, maybe he could have called her and talked to her. The whole thing happened over the phone. You know what I mean? So, I don't know if I think it was worth a date. No. And it was just awkward because I don't know if it was how it was edited. I'm going to talk about that every week because we don't know what made it into the cut and what didn't. It's a lot that's left for us to question. And so I feel like based on what they gave us, I don't feel like he was picking up what she was putting down. I think that, I want to say Kheri should have told him, you shouldn't have called another woman about something you had to say to me. And that's how she felt mishandled. Because I don't feel like it was clear to him how she was mishandling it, because the way that it was portrayed was that he was focused on the fact that he liked other women other than her. Dude, y'all all like other people there other than one person. Y'all all there for the same thing. So I don't think that her asking you if you were still interested or showing you that she was interested, I don't think that was her trying to lock you down. You know what I mean? And I think that, yeah, you should have had the answer first thing in the morning. Dude, you're here for that. People going home every week. You need to have the answer sooner rather than later. Maybe it's just me. But if my memory serves me correctly, when I first started talking about this and his name came up, that first week that we met him, I said that he had mommy issues. And that could still be true, but he also has other issues, as he was explaining on the dates that he went on. I think that he was projecting. When he talked about how he thought Kheri made a look and got upset because he got somebody else's number or exchanged numbers with somebody else, he immediately started to criticize her and be like, oh, she gave me a look and she did that, but it was not factual. When I look back at it, it wasn't obvious that she made a look or a gesture or whatever, but I feel like he was projecting and he felt uncomfortable in the situation of having had exchanged numbers with her and now exchanging numbers with another woman in front of the person you just booked. But he started immediately criticizing her off of these actions that you presumed what was going on. You never talked to her, and then you went to Shiloh and you talked to her about it, and you made all these judgments and came up with a conclusion before you ever even had a conversation with Kheri. And if I were the other women, I would be side-eyeing him as well, because I gotta watch how you handle other people. And I want to say this too. Now, y'all all keep saying y'all there for a dating show and you have to get to know other people and things like that, but clearly all of y'all are leading in that mindset because y'all wouldn't have to keep saying it and repeating it. It's going to go without saying that you're going to go on a date with her. It's going to go without saying that I'm going to end up probably going on a date with him, and him. We're trying to figure out where the match is. Camille, Corey, Cornelius, and Courtney. That's crazy. Okay, Camille, Corey, Courtney, and Cornelius all went on a date to the skating rink. It was funny that Cornelius ended up on another double date with 2 of his prospects. That's got to be awkward. Like, you can't even really focus, and he couldn't focus. And Camille picked up on it, and she asked him, was he jealous or whatever, and he, answered kind of, eventually he answered, but yes, he was. Because look, I had to rewind it because I said, did this man have his cell phone out while he was skating around the rink with Camille, recording Corey and Courtney? What are you doing? So it was kind of interesting to see that because, I think that he felt some kind of way. But anyway, it looked like Corey and Courtney got along really good. I keep on saying this. Corey's kind of awkward. I still think that he has no game. He would beg to differ. Courtney said she liked him from the beginning though, when he had when he had his little his pink blazer on that night at the mixer. Courtney was feeling him. So this I feel like this date was like a long time coming. I think they did a really good job of being into each other on their date versus Camille and Cornelius. They were talking about Courtney and Corey. Corey and Courtney weren't talking about them. They was talking about each other. So, and then Corey was able to shine and bring out the flowers. That was a great personal touch. You could see it in Cornelius and Camille's faces. Cornelius is going to have to step his game up if he coming at Courtney. Because Corey is the first date king. And so the first date king has a whole bunch of different ideas of dates and how to make the date good. So all these dudes need to step their game up when it comes to that. That is where he shines. If he stays and he's trying to date, y'all better watch out because that is exactly how shit like that happens. And everybody be like, I didn't even see it coming. Mumeen and Walter, that was a good date as well. They got chemistry, and it seems like the ladies are, whenever Walter gets into like a connection with somebody, like something personal is revealed about him. I don't know if this is, again, editing and they're doing it on purpose because it's creating a storyline, but I know that he's talked about more than his tragedies on there, but it's like the editing part is what's getting. But anyway, they had a really good date. I can see the chemistry between them as well. Walter's just a charmer. He's a charmer. I can see it. So they had a good date, and it ended with like a piggyback ride or something. Okay? You know what I'm saying? His knees are still good as well. It was another double date. It was Phil, Shiloh, Kheri, and Dante. And so they did a workout. Dante led them into a workout. And then they split up, and Dante's talking to Kheri, Shiloh's talking to Phil. And the conversation was just kind of really general and surface. It was a little bit dry. They were talking about what other connections each of them had made, if any. But Phil and Shiloh had a really good conversation because, like, you could tell they had some chemistry. So far we have Phil and Shiloh that had some chemistry. We got Frank and Aisha that had some chemistry. Courtney and Corey, which that's kind of cute. Zadi and Naeem seemed like they had a good date, but like I felt like they were saying that they felt the energy on the date, but I didn't feel it from watching it. I was just like, okay, but I guess that's another connection as well. But it was like, again, Naeem felt the need to make it known that he was going to get to know other women. And I'm like, duh, like what in the world is going on? Like, y'all are all there to get to know each other so y'all can weed each other out. Like, what is going on? So they all get back to the man cave so they can have their deliberations, right? And so they all start going around the room about who they like. And so Tommy got to Corey when he was talking about the date with Courtney. And I feel like Cornelius felt some kind of way unless they just edited this to look like this. Like, he pretty much rolled his eyes. Like, if they did not just, like, portray it like that, he could have did that 15 minutes before for some other reason. But anyway, so my top 3 women is Mumeen. So, okay, I'm giving this list based off of who was there because y'all know Sabrina's already my top 1. So they didn't really show any of Sabrina this episode. So she's still in the top 1 spot. And then I like Mumeen and I like Aisha. Those are my top 3 women Loved their energy. I did also like Shiloh's energy as well, but we only doing the top 3, so maybe next week. But for the men, Walter, I still like Walter. Walter did good. Walter has great conversation, and he seems intentional. He's a damn Pisces, okay? And so he's my number 1. Dante's my number 2. Dante did really good with communicating this week, I thought. And then my third guy is going to be Kheri. I'm rooting for Kheri this week, guys. I actually put Kheri on the list of my top 3. That is crazy. Anyway, so there you have it. Mumin, Aisha, Sabrina, Walter, Dante, and Kheri. So we'll see what happens next week. I'll meet you guys back here Saturday. And we'll see what happens, because next week, like I said, I think this episode was the calm before the storm, because next week they're going to have a pool party. Next week it looks like somebody's been leaving these notes around. God damn it, Kheri. If this is you doing this shit, like, share, and subscribe. And that's it.